Sons of Anarchy, Sunburns, Meeting New People.
May I have your attention, please?
Hello and welcome to another episode of Ramble On, the show where I put 10 minutes on a timer, I tweet out or Facebook out, I'm not sure of the term still, 3 random topics that I talk about, and that's all I have planned for the show. So, without further ado, let's hit that 10-minute timer in 3, 2, 1, begin. I'm watching a new show. You can probably guess what it is. It's called Sons of Anarchy. I got hooked on it after somebody had told me that one of the writers of S.H.I.E.L.D. made a new show, and I loved S.H.I.E.L.D. For those that don't know, it's Michael Chiklis, Walton Goggins, who has the best name of all time, and a couple of other guys. And I really like the S.H.I.E.L.D., so I wanted to try Sons of Anarchy and see what it is. I'm now on Season 5. And they had this beautiful, beautiful song at the end of Season 4. That's actually what I'm listening to this week, so stay tuned for that. But one of the things that kind of interest me is its approach. Like, Ron Perlman, for those that don't know, Sons of Anarchy is about a biker gang that kind of controls this area of Texas, I think. Oh man, I survived 4 seasons and I don't actually know where in the American maps it is. But anyway, it's a biker gang that goes outside the law, and the overall goal of it is to protect their hometown, but they don't really do a very good job. Anyway, long story short, Sons of Anarchy is a pretty damn good show, and I really enjoy it. I just remembered that this is something I wanted to say. I released Cheap Seats yesterday, and what I did differently with that episode was I also posted it on YouTube. I made a Pills YouTube account, which I don't exactly know what to do with yet, but I'm glad that I have it. And what I'm going to be doing is just posting video versions of the shows on YouTube, because some people are having problems with SoundCloud on their phone, and I figured this one would just be another way for people to get at the medium. Also, it gives me the opportunity to practice some video editing, because I do a lot of audio editing, but I've never done video stuff, so it'll be interesting to try and learn how to do that. Again, it was easier to do this kind of editing, the audio editing, because I paid for education for it. Like, I know a lot of how my programs work, what to do with the microphone, how to use effects to my advantage, but I've never actually touched video editing software. So for those that may subscribe on YouTube, be warned, it's just going to be a bunch of this stuff until I figure out what I could possibly do. I have a couple of ideas, but I'm not sure how to put the idea on the screen, but I'm going to be learning how to do it. It's going to be a work in progress. So if you have any ideas of what to do on YouTube, don't tell me. Because here's the thing. The whole point of social media and like SoundCloud and YouTube and all that is to do your idea. I didn't have to do the pill or anything of the sort. I just decided, you know what, let's give it a shot and see how I like it. That's what most people have a problem with, I'm noticing, because where I work, people really want to go out there and say, well, go out there and do what I do. You know, just do the pill, and says, why don't you do this? Why don't you do this? And I've never taken that. My response always to why don't you do this on your show? Why don't you do this on your show? Is why don't you? Because this is not something that this is a hobby of mine. It's not a career. It's not like PewDiePie or Game Grumps or Rhett and Link or anything like that. I'm doing this because I enjoy it. I really have fun managing my own show and putting out episodes. It's fun for me. So when people say, why don't you do this? I say, I have a platform. If you want to do it, I'll put it up on my platform, but I won't do your idea. Why don't you do your idea? There's no shortage of microphones around. There's no shortage of audio editing programs. I paid for my audio editing program, but there's free ones online. So it's something I wanted to get out there, because I have friends that listen to the show, is if you want to do something, just do it. There isn't a way to get started. I actually have my first episode saved onto my USB key still, just so I can go back and listen to how I sounded when I first started the show and listen to how utter garbage I am. I like to think I'm getting better, but every once in a while I get a little bit of a rut and I realize, oh, I'm not advancing at all. I'm dull. I've got nothing anymore. And then I look back at my first episode and go, whoa, no, I've actually done things. And that's what I suggest. It's not worry about the first thing you do. The first crepe goes to the dogs. I've said it over and over again because I don't know if you've ever made crepes, but when you try and make a crepe, your first one is going to be terrible, no matter how good you are, no matter how experienced you are. So your first crepe, you cook it, you feed it to the dog, you cook another one, and you serve that one. Not the one the dog ate, you serve the one you made second. So just give it a shot. If it's something you like doing, keep going. If it's not, it gave it a shot at least. That's the whole point. You won't look back and say, man, I wish I would have written that book. Man, I wish I would have done that show. Man, I wish I would have. It's not worth it. It's not worth it when you have the capability of doing it right now. Like, I put money into a microphone, into a computer, into a program, but you can easily just use your laptop's microphone, I don't know what it is. You know what? I was actually talking about this with somebody. There is a free audio recording software online, and I cannot for the life of me remember what it was called. So, you know what? I'll put a link to what it is in the description afterwards, so I at least have it in my head, but for right now I can't think of it. It might be because I'm distracted on something else, this pain in the back of my neck. I was in Florida, which is 20 degrees and sunny all year round, and I got a sunburn last week. I wasn't in Florida, I was here in Canada, where this shouldn't be a problem. And it's right on the back of my neck because I decided to wear my ball cap, where I usually wear a leather cowboy hat, which protects my entire head, but I wore a baseball cap that day and I got a sunburn on the back of my neck, which freaking sucks. I hate it because it hurts to shower, hurts to put a shirt on. It's just not, it's not fun. But the one thing I never do is put aloe vera on the sunburn. It just, the way it feels to me is just like an extra coating of skin on the back of my neck, and it just feels off. I don't like it. So I just let it heal itself, and whatever happens, happens. I've never had that peeling sensation. I've heard about it with sunburns where if you get a burn, your skin starts to leak, I guess, and you peel it off your skin. I've never had that happen to me. It doesn't sound like a good time, but I've never experienced it. I guess because I don't, if you've listened to Things and Stuff, which is a show that I put out while I was on vacation, I don't wear shorts, and I always wear dark clothing, even when it was 20 degrees outside, because I don't feel it. I don't feel the temperature as much as everybody else does, and I hate the draft of wind that comes up your leg and onto your pants protected area. It just chills every time it happens to me. So I don't like that, and I've never had the peeling sensation because I refuse to use aloe vera, and still hasn't happened to me. I don't know why. I think that's all I can go with that one. So let me turn my phone off from sleep. And meeting new people, that was the next thing. I have a difficult time going to people. Like, I have no problems talking to anybody that I've met for the first time. The only issue is I can't be the one to start the conversation. I don't know what it's called. People have said that I'm an introvert, but introverts tend to just stay in their own little bubble and don't care about anything, where I do want to talk to people. I just have a fear of going up to them by myself. You know what I mean? Like, I can't just out of a whim go up to somebody. If they come up to me and say, hi, my name's blank and blank, I'll talk with you till the sun goes down. I have no problems talking with new people. I just can't be the one to insinuate the conversation. Is anybody else like that? I've always had that issue, which is kind of interesting in my career choice, now that I think about it. Because right now, I want to be in radio, and right now I'm in news radio, which means I have to go to people and say, can I interview you for a story? And it's gotten easier, but I remember the first time that I went on, sorry, I can't think. When I went to, my brain, it farted. I can't remember. Oh yeah, when I'm writing stories, it's gotten easier to go and talk to people because the worst they can say is no. And I kind of take that at face value. I've never truly understood meeting people like that, where they can only say no. It doesn't process in my head for some reason. I still have that anxiety when I talk to people, and don't know where it comes from. I don't want to go see a psychiatrist to exactly see where it comes from, because there's just no point in that. It's not something I want to pay somebody to tell me about. It's something I want to work through. There was actually a great quote I read about somebody when talking about rejection when going up to somebody new. And it was confidence. It was on Reddit. I still don't know who said it. Like, it didn't even have a username. But it was, confidence is not going up to a woman and saying, I'm going to get this woman on a date. Oh, that's my timer. Let me just finish my thought. The quote goes, confidence is not going up to a woman knowing that you're going to get a date. It's going up to a woman knowing that if you get rejected, it's not going to affect you. That really stuck with me, and I'm glad that I heard it. Thank you for listening to me talk for 10 minutes long. I'm sorry I missed last week. Hopefully this one was good enough for everybody else. Before we sign off for the day, I'm going to leave you with a song I'm listening to this week. And Sons of Anarchy Season 4, no spoilers, don't worry, had a music video on its season, not music video, it had, not a music video, a song at the end of Season 4. And it's a cover version of House of the Rising Sun, and it's a pretty damn good song. Thanks for listening. I'll see you guys on Monday for Monday's Pill, and as always, have yourself a wonderful weekend.